Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. And this thing's acting up weird here, too. Yeah, it's time for Survival Saturday, and tonight's topic is it is definitely acting up. It's not letting the PowerPoint show what's on there. Amazing. It's just going, yeah. So warning, possible fantasy, fear porn, Kool-Aid drinking zone ahead. Then again, possibly not. And okay, can you hear me now? I'm trying to get stuff up here. I don't know why it went to that screen. And let me get there. We go. Let me try to share, get stuff going here. Screen. That stuff back up here. Okay, that stuff's back up here. Get that out of the way. All right, so now you can hear me. So even this morning when I was doing stuff, Chrome is pulling 78% of the memory. Even if I only have one tab open, it's pulling 78% of the memory and saying there are 21 tabs open. So Chrome is screwed up big time. And then I tried using Edge. Edge won't support StreamYard, and Chrome would not let Firefox open. It was, doing stuff. So I don't know what's going on here. But let's go to the top and say hi to everybody and see what we can do tonight. First one in was CR, followed half a second later by Crew 1351. Then Diana came in, and Geeky Gardens came in. Go down, everyone's chit-chatting here. Little Prepper made it in. And those are the only ones in here so far making comments. We got at least the up here in the top here, it says there are more people watching. So, hey everyone, we're dealing with technical difficulties of Chrome acting up and doing screwy stuff. All right, so tonight's topic is Hang on, let me run back on my other screen here just to see something. Okay. Now it seems to be working. Let's see if it still works when I go there. There. Now none of this was working before. I could. It was just, I don't know what was going on. So anyway, so after a year of worldwide famine, what are your plans? And let's get out of that one there and get to here. So, yep, lurkers in the wings. Oh, and Sandy's here. All right, so causes, since I'm up, no, you know, let me go ahead in case CR or somebody wants to be a co-host up here, just in case I get dropped down. They can make fun of me and talk about it until I get back up here. So causes for a year of worldwide famine. I put on here man-made on purpose. Yes, there are several causes there. Man-made mistake. Yes. Nature the only way? No, but there is some interesting ones on nature. So let me go to the next one here. Okay, so man-made on purpose. They started this crap back in, trying to remember when they did it. 85. Let me go and shift this way here. They started, the seed companies started, well, let me put it this way. The chemical companies such as Monsanto and Bayer and the others started buying up seed companies and developing seeds that and they're developing seeds that were Roundup or glyphosate ready, you know, they could survive that. And when they got to a certain point, they made anybody buying seeds from them sign a contract to A, not save seeds to harvest them again, and B, to only use their glyphosate killer on, you know, weed killer on it, because it was their seeds were immune to it. And you know, there's a whole marketing BS thing that they did, but they made them sign a contract not to save seeds or plant anybody else's seeds. It's a really deep, nasty one. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. BG had anything to do with it. And Kaylin's in here. All right. Oh, Sandy got rain yesterday. Yay. So anyways, the modified seeds they have, and they've modified them since then, that even if you save the seeds and you plant them, what grows withers and dies almost immediately. They're made for one season only, and you got to buy new seeds from the manufacturer. You know, this is for all the you know, big farms and stuff. Fortunately, some countries have banned those seeds, and they're not being able to bring them in. But they're, you know, like countries that are hurting, like, or they need help and stuff doing it, they donate those seeds to those areas. So theirs is the only thing that grows out there. We're talking third world countries and stuff like that. And so if their seeds fail, if they fail to produce seeds the following year at their manufacturing plant where they grow the seeds and do the stuff, if they have a problem there, everybody that buys seeds from that company is up poop creek. Now, man-made mistake ties in off of that a little bit. They modified the seeds. They have a problem. The seeds don't work. Or the other one on purpose, they get the people using the seeds and they don't sell the seeds to them, and they don't have seeds that they've harvested that they can use again. So on purpose, same type of thing could happen that way too. But by mistake, they screw up on their own manufacturing thing and they don't produce seeds. Or they have a thing where what they produce doesn't, the seeds will grow, plant comes up, and it doesn't produce crops. It's, like if they're raising for wheat or corn, it comes up, puts tassels up, and never develops, fruit. Other ones trying to modify insects so that they will not affect the crops and stuff, and they won't want the crops, and they wind up modifying them improperly. And instead of staying away from them, they go whole hog after it. All right. Exactly, Sandy. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, too. And the most obvious on that is bananas no longer have seeds in them. Watermelons are the only thing they sell in the store now are seedless ones. You gotta, if you want seeds in watermelons, you got to get seeds from someone like M.I. Gardner, Johnny's Select Seeds, or whatever, where they sell watermelons that have seeds in them. And they're trying to expand it into more stuff as well. So far, I haven't seen them having any success with like apricots, pears, cherries. Those still seem to do it. Sunflowers, that's all it is seeds. Cantaloupes, every cantaloupe I get still has seeds in it. Whether or not the seeds are always viable, I don't know. I haven't bought watermelon at the store in years because I grow my own, from seed, and I harvest the seeds. Grapes. Grapes was the other thing. You got your seedless when they first came out with Tomlinson seedless grapes. Oh, everybody went after it because you can eat grapes without swallowing seeds. Yeah. So that's one of the things that could backfire on everybody as well, too. The last few years, I've seen fewer and fewer insects, both beneficial and pests. The yard will be covered in clover blossom and only 1 or 2 honeybees. No grasshoppers, cracks, ladybirds, etc. Here, they had a memorandum some 15 years ago or so for the county to spray everywhere for mosquitoes because, we have to spray chemicals out there to control mosquitoes. You can't take care of it yourself by making sure you don't have water, bowls of water, pots, whatever around. And so they're spraying the mosquitoes and stuff. I've noticed I've gone out while they're spraying, and I've gone around afterwards in my car with the air on recycle, so I'm not drawing outside air in. And there's still a lot of people that have their windows open at night and fans in the window, so they're sucking that poison into the house. That said, until I guess about a week ago, the air conditioner across the street was broken. And there was, they had fans open all the time there. And Eli was really, really agitated at night and in the morning. And once they got the AC working again, they buttoned the house up. So it's, not pulling the outside, chemical air in, and they're doing okay. Here, I have the fans blowing out on the street side where the guy drives by, and only pull in on the inside. And I got some filters set up for it. So I haven't noticed the nasty smell in the house here yet. But fortunately, all right, things that love. I know I posted this on my Facebook and with a whole explanation going with it about them spraying. All right, they're spraying for mosquitoes. What are they killing besides mosquitoes? Mosquito hawks. What do? They eat mosquitoes. Dragonflies. What do they eat? They eat mosquitoes. What have they chased off? Bats. What do bats eat? Mosquitoes. Praying mantis. Young praying mantis, when they're small, eat mosquitoes. When they get bigger, they don't. They go after bigger prey. And I have not seen a lightning bug here ever. And people talk about they used to be here all around all the time. I have seen, we got so many frigging grasshoppers and crickets around here. The ones we have aren't affected by whatever they're spraying. The ladybugs have been, I guess, hiding underneath the things at night, the big leaves at night, but I have seen a bunch of ladybugs out and about. And Ferocious is there. Yeah, so there's the stuff they're spraying to get rid of bugs could wipe out all the beneficial bugs 1 year and not wipe, and then you have an influx of all the bad ones the following year, and your crops go looking like this. All right. Got blossom end rot in tomatoes bad this year, but cucumbers, potatoes, and are doing good. Excellent. My lettuce was doing great. My volunteer lettuce was doing great. Then all of a sudden it bolted. I said, okay, I'll let it bolt. And in another couple of weeks, I'll be harvesting a couple thousand lettuce seeds off the two plants I have. I had problems with all my garden, get it redoing and stuff because of the summer we had and trying to get it fixed on it. See, I lost it. Come on, get back over. There we go. Little Prepper says, I've noticed that a lot this year. Yeah, any seed you buy in the store, they're all they selling are seedless. You got to buy seeds from like M.I. Gardner, Johnny Select. You may get some from Baker Creek that have that, the watermelon produces seeds. Yeah. If you do that and start doing that, that's what you want to do is collect your own seeds. You don't want to buy the watermelons from the stores anyways. Remember last year and the year before when we talked about the crap they're spraying on them and even injecting into the watermelons and watermelons exploding because of the chemicals reacting with stuff in it? Yeah. I haven't seen that article. If you should have, Caitlin, if you should happen to see an article on that, please email it to me so we can talk about it on Thursday night. Let's see, go back up here, catching up on the side chat here, guys. Oh, okay, that's a continuation on the trees. Yeah. Yeah, probably somebody said, "Oh, it's contaminated. You got to cut all the trees down." They've done that with growers before, and usually it turns out if somebody in the health department, whatever, had a grudge against that farmer, was going to try to make him go bankrupt, and had finagled and had orders given. Excellent. My wife has I forget how many grape plants. One up there, two up by the shop, or is it three up there? It's three up by the shop, three down along the daycare fence by the house, and then two over on the other side of the house, or at least, or one. I forget if she had to pull one out. Only one of them is a Thompson seedless because one of the boys wanted it. One is a red ruby seedless. The other one is a red ruby with seeds, and all the rest of them have seeds. Concord grapes and stuff like that all have seeds. That's one of the things I was asking. It could be a fake blight. They've had that problem before where, oh, you got blight, you got to take it down. Here's the court order, cut it down now. And it turns out they didn't have blight. It was somebody just didn't like them and had in a position of power. I wonder if some of the I do know that the off insect repellent and a couple of the others, if you spray it on the grass, it kills the grass better than weed killer. Yeah. And so if it's killing the grass, it's also killing all the bugs in the grass too. Oh, yeah, I got the bees everywhere around here. Bees, wasps, the little everything's just they're all cohabitating around what sunflowers I have, and they're wondering where the heck are the rest of your sunflowers. I haven't checked across the street to see if I had volunteers come up over there. I need to go out there. There may be a bunch of sunflowers growing across the street. Yeah. And prepared for us here. Yeah, excellent. And Jeremy's here, Tennessee Tactical 1. He's on his 5th generation now of his watermelons. Excellent. And it had no seeds, did it, Kaylin? No seeds, little flavor, and it was probably picked 2 months ago. Excellent. Excellent that the lightning, but you had the lightning bugs. Yeah, I haven't seen June bugs here. I got to check with my wife, see if she's seen them down there in California. Did I miss somebody else coming in? I'm just looking to see if scrolling back here. Did Bushcraft come in, people? Okay. Let's see. Everyone's saying hi back and forth. Modern Masala is best with vodka inside it. Yeah. And I have a sweet green grape. I think it's well. And Happy Mac just came in. He's been in the bushes. Yeah, it's yellow jackets are and the paper wasps are a mixed blessing. So long as they don't get too, the yellow jackets don't get too populated where they start attacking you when you mow the lawn. Yeah, the paper wasp, so long as they stay out of the equipment, like my tractor, I had to kill a bunch of them on the back of my tractor. There's one of the draining tools, they decided to set a nest up in there. So I took the shot and just squirted the stuff up in there, and it foamed all up in there and took them out. By my truck, the bed of my truck, the four corners in the bed has a little inspection hole there. There are wasp nests in every one of those. I had to go by Home Depot, get a couple cans. And in the parking lot, I sprayed those the yellow jackets. I know the paper wasps in there. But yeah, there's the bees. I set out little trays in amongst my plants, and the bees are always in there feeding around them and drinking around them rather, and getting water there. And bees is one of the things that will fight a famine, so long as there's nothing there killing the bees. Hang on, I'm losing you guys here. Yeah, I've been picking up and just stocking them up, and I'll plant some, and just as long as they keep sprouting several years down, I'll be good. I'm just waiting till I get the whole big garden going here that I can start raising more stuff here. The channel Mousetrap Monday showed some of his favorite DIY yellow jack eradication methods. Yeah, I just haven't taken the time to hang. Of course, the way the wind's blowing, it may or may not be working. But I did on the side of the house under the cover here, hang up a bunch of the fly strips and stuff. Fly paper, sticky fly paper, and it's covered with some flies. A whole mess of gnats and a few yellow jackets and paper wasps. Yeah. Yeah, definitely don't want them where they can sting you. The one was so on my Toyota Tundra has the overlapping doors. You open the front door, and then you can open the smaller bag, so it's an extended cab. You can open that one. I went someplace with the grandsons in there, and then when I got back, I saw some paper wasps flying at the back side of it by the bed where for the hinge. Looked back then, there was a thing there, and when I opened the door and looked at the inside, it was right there. I'm surprised they didn't fly into the cab when the grandkids were climbing in and out. Yeah, my most successful plant has been the lettuce. That's the Grand Rapids lettuce. I mean, I had volunteers coming up everywhere. My Wando peas I'm getting a bunch of them coming up out there where I've been rototilling amongst the orchard trees. They're coming up there. Where I did work in the front yard, what came up, there were a bunch of leftover of the sugar the sugar honey pie, whatever it is, pumpkin, and there are some of them, and those got rototilled under, and then the dirt got moved and spread out, and I brought in wood chips and I rototilled it, and then I brought in several truckloads, I think about 18, 19 yards of compost went out there. That got rototilled in, and when I started watering it down, I got pumpkins coming up everywhere. And what surprises me, I did not have yellow squash planted in the front yard, and I had volunteers from 2 years ago from where I rototilled, and they came up. See how noticeable difference. Yeah. My lettuce. I'm trying to remember where I got it from. Did I get it from crap? Because I bought it like 5 years ago, and I after the first time I've just been replanting. I mean, I got baggies of Grand Rapids lettuce seeds. Um, yeah, if you send me a self stamped addressed envelope, I will give you those seeds, and I'll give you the rainbow chard and the Swiss chard my wife has. I got little packets of seeds. I can send you those for free. Just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was looking at some of the stuff in M.I. Gardner last night. I was going to get some of his pelleted carrot seeds so I could have and see if I can get better germination rates with the seeds for carrots. But the carrots I had went to seed everywhere up front, and I shook a bunch of the seed pods up and down the planters, and I'll see if any of that comes up this fall. Yeah, and it's a fair drought. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut down what you're growing. You're gonna have to do what my mom did the one year. The idiots at uh, Contra Costa Water District did. They after they found out my dad died, that the following year or the year after that, they realized, oh wait a minute, there's only one person living there. They cut her allotment in half, and she was taking showers in there with buckets in a couple buckets in the shower and stuff. So she's stepping around the buckets and shower and take the buckets out and water her garden. Uh, I'm glad. All right, let's get back to this stuff here. I forgot to finish that. All right, so modified insects can do it, and modified, and I left this one kind of blank on purpose. Someone already mentioned jet stream, so but if they try modifying rain clouds and stuff, they may get rain where they didn't want it and get too much of it, and then other areas would not get it. And that's the thing with rain. We'll get to weather patterns from Mother Nature too. Cover this. Rain patterns can really screw stuff up. Now, I know some of you probably have heard or either done it yourself or heard others talking about it, where you get too much rain and your garden's a swamp, and you got all of your stuff that you planted, and all of a sudden you get a midsummer rainstorm that just drowns it, and you lose practically everything. And certain plants do not like a lot of water. Other things probably just were just happy as a clam, but yeah. So nature caused weather patterns can cause famine in areas. Yeah, mulching helps it. I'm collecting more plain brown cardboard without the any ink on it or anything. No, and I'm actually peeling the ink off of some areas. I did get a bunch of packing. This is really cool. I wish I could have brought one in for you. I've talked about I'm using vinegar to spray the weeds, so it kills the weeds without damaging the soil. In fact, it actually helps lower the pH from the 9.5 pH down towards 7. And so I sprayed that on the morning glory, the star thistle, the pigweed, the Russian broom, and try to kill that stuff from taking over the garden. Well, when I get it 4 gallons in a box, and it's got this plain cardboard packing in there that's been perforated like cube steak. and it just and it's accordion like, and it's just stuffed in there to just keep the gallon jugs from rubbing against each other. And I've been collecting that. All of a sudden, just about a week ago, I just realized I got a bunch of it back in the shop in the corner there. And I've just been tossing it back there. And since I moved the compost bin from where I had it over against the shop where my wife said to put it, I just took a bunch of that stuff, accordion it open and just started laying it in there, mixing some of the compost up on it, adding more of the bread crust and other stuff to it, and hosing it down. And it seems to be holding the water really good for it. Oh yeah, see, the heat here was insane. Okay, so it was about 2 o'clock, maybe 1:30. The thermometer in the shade under the roof, the awning I built over the patio here, said 100 degrees, and I had the water misters on full on top of the awning, cooling it off. It's metal and it's white, so it reflects a lot of the heat. And I put my hand up on it, and it felt just like the side of the house, because it's just so hot out there. The heat has been a factor on my tomatoes. Most of them. I actually got volunteer tomatoes coming up in the front garden now. After I've rototilled up there, and I got volunteer tomatoes coming up from I don't know. I think when I pulled the plants out, there were still a couple of tomatoes on it. I just tossed it out there last fall and rototilled it under. So I got some cherry tomatoes coming up there in the front garden now. But yeah, the heat has been a factor for a lot of it. Yeah, love volunteer plants because I know which ones are going to be doing good. Unfortunately for my volunteers, both the watermelons, not watermelons, the pumpkins and the golden zucchini, my daughter's chickens have come over and been doing me a great favor in turning my soil, all the wood chips I have back in the orchard where I rototilled once already. They're going in there and rototilling it again out on the side where they're doing that on the west side of the house, and they're just rototilling everything. But they found the golden zucchini in there. I went out there to pick it, and it was half gone where they had pecked it out. I went back a day later, and it was totally gone. I don't know if someone came by, saw it, ate, and cut it off, or what was going on it. But that's gone. And then this morning, Oliver pointed out to me where in one of my raised planter beds, one of the one of the pumpkins growing, and where it had grown down, and one of the pumpkins was sitting on the driveway covered up. One of the chickens went back in there and ate half of it. So yeah, it's been interesting that ways on that. Oh, let's see here. So Mother Nature patterns. We all know how Mother Nature does cycles with the cicadas and other bugs, and the grasshoppers and the crickets go through cycles. And the grasshoppers, when they get too many grasshoppers, they actually, the ones that are alive go through a phase, they change, they mutate and become locusts. So the grasshoppers actually become locusts when there's too many grasshoppers around, and that's when the locust swarm starts happening. So there are a lot of reasons that will cause famines, but worldwide, it usually doesn't happen worldwide. That is recorded too much in history. There was that time in Egypt where Egypt was recording several years of it, and other places recorded it at the same time. So let me go to the next page here. Mitigation, we've been talking about that. plant seeds that you know that are successful for you to grow and for your area. Prepper girl, shalom. And so, work on your garden. Make sure it's build it like a food forest where you are not having to use chemicals to make stuff grow. In other words, avoid It's a Miracle It'll Grow. That company. And the other thing, you just and harvest your own seeds, because seeds you harvest for your area that you bought online, the next year they're now acclimated to your area. The next year they're more acclimated to your area. Water recovery is something to help put off famines and droughts and stuff. I've added. Okay, I had 4 IBC totes hooked up to the gutter last fall. Last fall. Right now, I've got 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, and 2 more to hook up to the gutters. And so I'm actually recycling water from that catch. Now, what I'll do is I will turn sprinklers on that are on city water. We don't have meter reading here yet. And then when the tanks get so full, I turn it off and just use the pump. And just the pump sprays water up on there and circulates that until evaporation takes a toll on it. Then I turn back on the city water. And our city is using less water than the regional water bank says we're supposed to be using for our city. So I'm actually helping the city look good in the amount of water they're using. But the problem is it also runs up the city's electrical bill because they run pumps to pressurize the system rather than build a water tower where it's gravity pressurizes it. They have pumps that run all the time to pressurize it rather than just filling up the tank and turning the pumps off. But anyways, yeah, that's sort of a famine. That's more like what's the word? It's not quite a famine, but we'll call it a famine for tonight. But yeah, there's going to be a lack of fertilizer for lack of plants. And the other thing with China and Russia, which are the major manufacturers of urea, there is a shortage of the diesel exhaust fluid, the DEF, for those that have to use it. Yeah, they're paying high dollar to try to get it, and yeah, there's going to be a shortage of that, which is going to cause problems too. Excellent. Yeah, I got to get my wife to bring up some of her thyme, and we're going to see if it's a variety that'll survive the winter up here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy some local thyme and plant it in a couple places. A couple of the other stuff too that'll survive the snow and come back up. Come on, brain work. Lemon balm I planted. 4 of the plants came back after the winter snows and stuff, and they were just starting out, and one of them was a little bit ahead of the others. And the ones that weren't as strong, we had another freeze, and they froze off, but the other one's doing good now. And I'm hoping to get reseed that one planter so I get more lemon balm come. It smells good, really good too. And I'm looking for, I'm trying to get other plants. I got a list elsewhere in my little book there of ones that help chase off the earwigs, the sow bugs, so I'm going to plant more of those plants around here to help keep those pests away from my tomato plants. But my peppers are being inundated by earwigs. and I planted some marigolds, but the marigolds aren't chasing, they're chasing everything else away, but not the earwigs. Yeah. There's, I may also have to get the, I forget what, I have to look it back up again. There's something you can put in a lid of a jar and set it out there, and earwigs will go after it because it smells good to them, but it kills them. And Moon Over Miami showed up. So recovery is just having all your seed bank, having your own seed bank, and ready to go, and do that. Yeah, unfortunately, the high temperatures have wiped out the nasturtiums every time I've tried to plant them. I'm going to have to got to talk to the wife about planting some more shade trees other than the fruit trees. She says we have enough fruit trees, so we can plant some more shade trees, and I can plant the nasturtiums under that and get them in pots, and I can just take the whole big pot over and put it somewhere else. All right. Oh yeah. So guys, I'm going to make this big again. There we go. Actually, see me try for the big one. It won't go wide enough, so it doesn't matter where I stick myself on this one. So this is from 1918, as you know, the end of World War I. Food shortages in Europe. So the dark green: United Kingdom, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, Switzerland, and Bulgaria had significant food supply. Belgium was in famine conditions. France and Germany were in serious food shortages. Italy, Hungary, Albania, Greece, part of Russia were in shortage, approaching famine. But Serbia, Romania, and Western Russia were in famine conditions. So you can see the mix there. You got famine conditions and serious food shortages, and Bulgaria's sitting right in the middle, and they had plenty of food. So I brought this up just to show that a famine can happen in the most unique situations where several countries are just getting wiped out, and somebody's sitting right in the middle of it. Said, "We got plenty of food. Oh, we're keeping our mouths shut." I like how Hungary is part of the stream. Yeah, and that's the last picture I had. That's the last picture I had there. Go ahead. Yeah. So that's the thing is though, and the thing is though, one of the things that I didn't mention off that for Mother Nature, what else can cause a famine? It can be the country could be getting plenty of water, but for some reason, the way the air currents are and stuff, they're also getting extreme heat. I mean, like I said, we got our stuff for. Let me go ahead and close this out here. See if that'll work, and close that. Right now, our weather, boom. Oh, red flag warning, heat advisory, and they keep extending the heat advisory as they keep changing the thing. Now here, for this afternoon, the high was supposed to be 97. At, like I said, 1:30 or 12, it was 100 degrees out there. Just when last time I was out here at 5, was it 5:30? No, it was 4:30. I was outside. It was at 101. 4 degrees above forecast. And so, yeah, so I and every farther out here, I've been noticing like these 83 and 80, those are going to be up here as by tomorrow's time. Actually, let me refresh it. Let's see what happens here when I refresh. So, okay, it said it was 101 there. Now it says it's 95. I'd like to see if it's 95 out there or not. 88 on Wednesday. 83, 80. I bet all these are going to be higher than what it said. And that's what can take and give you a famine. The plants aren't used to the high heat. They got the water, but they got the high heat, and it's killing the plants. Yeah, exactly. But like tonight's topic was a worldwide famine that happened for started last year, and we're coming to this spring or whatever. Okay, are we going to do it again? But yeah, it's one of the things just to consider. That this is a prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and hopefully it won't happen at all. Oh, 115 down there for moon over Miami. Reminds me of the summer between my junior and senior year. So that would be 74 in Fredonia, Arizona. At the city pool, the thermometer, which was in the shade and is in the shade all the time, 118 degrees for several weeks. Yeah. Even the old ladies were coming out and coming down to the pool. Yep. One good volcano can shade the world for several years and take things out. Yeah. Weather predictions are often wrong. All righty, folks. Coming up here Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound with Tammy and Mark. The topic is what's in your, if I get up here, what's in your flower? Yeah. What's in your flower? We'll be sharing a link for a video. I also try to remember to put the link in the description so you guys can review it later. But it is a real eye opener of America's flower situation. I'm not talking smelling the flowers. I'm talking baking flour. Tuesday, back here on Grandman Prepping for Tactical Tuesday, is Knowledge is Power. What's in your library? What have you added to your library since 2 years ago when we talked about it? All right. Did you guys go out and add stuff to your library? Thursday's the Midnight Ride. Friday, for those of you who have tractors or ride-on lawnmowers, implements. What implements do you need? And they are making new implements for ride-on mowers. I was like, dang, I'm going to have to get that. And I'll share some of those with you next Friday. Next Saturday. And this was a recommended one that someone recommended. After the moon's orbit changes, what are your plans? And we'll talk about it moving closer or it moving farther away. So we'll talk about after the moon's orbit changes, what are your plans next Saturday? All right. So everyone, remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing, seeds, lots of seeds that grow in your area. Learn a new skill and start planning your fall garden now and start planning your indoor garden. All right. Take care, and we'll see you Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound. Take care.